Hey, and welcome to Talk About Worlds podcast number 3. Today, we're going to do a little conversation on soldiers and basically to honor Memorial Day. So, to start off, I'm Sir Felix the Cat. With me, I have BC. How are you doing today, BC?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm loving it.
Awesome. And then I also have Hawk. How are you doing today?
I'm as good as I can be. How about you?
Cool. Cool. Not bad. Not bad. So, today I kind of wanted to do something different. Instead of us just sitting here talking about some random topic, figured we could kind of pull up characters and have a little game with them, a little battle to the death, essentially. We're going to do 2 rounds. It's a 1v1v1 kind of debate battle to get this going. So, hope you guys have your character. I am going to be using, had to make notes for this guy. I'm going to be using Solid Snake from the Metal Gear series. I'm not going to go into Metal Gear 5 because I know he gets like some power suit, which is just ridiculous, and that's too much. I don't want any like super power guy. But yeah, so I'm going to be using Solid Snake. He is a master of, some guy did a count and it was like 21 fighting styles, but one of them was like piloting, and I don't consider that really a fighting style. That's just a skill. But yeah, so he has about 20 different fighting styles. He is a master with guns. He is a master of stealth, and he likes to smoke cigarettes.
And cigars.
Yep, so that's mine. Yeah, and cigars, depending on how old he is at the time. Yeah, so Hawk, what about you? Who do you got?
So it was pretty tough. A lot of people ran through my head, but I think I'm going to settle with Jin Sakai as a samurai. Not as the Ghost of Tsushima, because he's not quite a soldier at that point and a little too OP. But he's a master of at least 4 different forms of fighting with the katana to counter different enemies with different weaponry. He has a bunch of tools at his disposal, and he's intelligent and very quick. He also can sneak around, has decent armor. We're going to assume he's wearing his like regular samurai armor in this. Nothing crazy, nothing special. But yeah, he's a I wouldn't say master swordsman, but an excellent swordsman, and very ingenuitive.
All right, awesome. BC, who do you have?
Well, I'm going to go with somebody who I know from primarily the 90s. And who that is it's X-Men, the 90s character I'm talking about. The X-Men 97 and the 90s TV shows who I'm going to be pulling from. The character Cable. Cable is oh man, you can go into a whole different world with Cable. He's got, and the reason you say that is because he can do all these different time travels. And if you know about time traveling, you go into one door, you open up another door, and there's 10 other doors. And which one do you choose from? Well, there's all those stories to go to, right? And there's woulda, coulda, shoulda. So Cable's interesting because his power levels are that too. So what I want to do is I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to keep his power levels strictly to the Fox TV show from the early 90s, and we will touch a little bit into the 97 news TV series because I don't think they're making them Omega level at this point. And when I say Omega level, if you guys don't know what that means, it's who and what can beat it, right? And that's basically the easiest way to explain it. It's somebody who has power levels that is just really just unbelievable. It's like, oh my God, how do we do it? How do we overcome this? So we'll keep it real fair with Cable. So that's my character for this battle.
All right. Well, I didn't touch on weapons. Do you want to talk about your weapons really quick? What kind of gear Cable has?
Cable, he's a time traveling soldier. So he has multiple and different he's kind of like the Batman of the X-Men, if you want, I guess you could say. He is prepared for anything, but he's more of a soldier. So he's got, like, he'll have he can't carry everything on you, of course, but he will have some type of grenade, but it's usually, like an EMC, electric pulse disable. He does something crazy like that. He'll usually carry a big gun. He's not really a swords guy, but he primarily he's a strategic kind of guy. So he's more or less, he's going to sit back and he's going to try to he's like a sniper. He wants to shoot you from a distance. He doesn't want to necessarily have to fight you. But if he does have to fight you, then he's well capable of doing that as well. So for his weapons, there's some funky time, traveling new technology that he has. But again, it just depends on the writer primarily who's writing him and how much they want to go into that, how much they want to indulge. I've seen him have like where he has like a little square that comes out of his arm that's his traveling device, and then I've seen him be able to just mentally do it as well. So again, it just depends on primarily who's drawing him. But if you're going from the 90s, yeah, he's just a guy with a gun, big old gun.
All right. So Snake is basically a covert operative. He's going to have pretty much a standard military gear. I'm not going to get him like his super armor, like I was saying from MGS 5, but he mainly carries a pistol, which I think now is a 22. They've changed it so many times. I can't remember which one it was last. Let's just go with the 9mm, just make it even.
Yeah, I think it's a 9.
Yeah, I know at one point he had a Magnum. I don't know why, but I think that was a spin-off game with what was it, the handheld PlayStation PSP. But he's going to have his knife. He's going to have a pack of cigarettes. He's going to have a cardboard box that he just pulls out of nowhere. And let's see, he's going to have tranquilizer too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And yeah, that'll be it. Like light armor, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Something stealthy. Yeah, so the way I have this drawn up is, except for minus the drawing, I am going to have it be on a map. So this map's going to be split into 4 quadrants. You have, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. And each of these are very different. So the decent ones, you have northwest. There is an unclimbable cliff with a waterfall pouring into a small lake or a giant pond, however you want to look at it, that feeds into a river flowing south. Trees thinly line the water, providing shade and some cover. And then northeast, you have ancient ruins with stairs covered with rubble and vines. There are 3 rooms with no doors or windows that you could use as cover. And for the bad ones, we have southwest. There is a small clearing from the trees on a hill that leads up to a cliff. Basically, once you're up on this hill, you have 0 cover. You're just wide out in the open. And then you have southeast, which is a very thick, dense, nearly unmovable forest. Let's see. It has snakes that hide in it. And if you're in there, basically, we're going to flip a coin. And if you get tails, you're getting bit by the snake. If you get bit twice, your character's dead. If you do get bit once, if you don't get bit the next turn, you kind of recover. It's only like half poisoning, I guess you want to call it. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're all going to, I'm going to roll a fancy little 4-sided die, and we're going to see where everybody starts. So I'm going to roll for myself first. Oh, yeah, the quadrants. Northwest is 1, southwest is 2, southeast is 3, northeast is 4. So we're going to see where I go. I am 1, which was northwest. All right, Hawk, I'm going to roll for you. You got 3, which was... Dude, you got screwed. You're southeast. We're going to go over that in a minute. Yeah, because you're not going to get attacked by the snake on your first turn. That's dumb. That's dumb.
Well, thank you.
BC, you're starting in 3 next to Hawk. This is going to be fun. Yeah, so yeah, the snake won't bite you on your first turn, so it takes 2 turns to get out of there. So you run the risk of getting bit at least once. If your guys are going to play around in there for a minute, then you run the risk of dying.
Okay.
Does anybody have a coin handy? Because I forgot to grab one.
No. You could do like a thing online. They have the coin flip.
Yeah. Let me get one of those going.
Here, I got one.
You got one? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna let one of you guys go first since you guys are together, and then I'll go in between you. So who wants to go first out of you two?
I have no problem. I can go last, or I can go first. I don't have no problem, guys.
You can go first. I'll see what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, go ahead and start. So yeah, what you're basically gonna do is you have a turn, which you guys are near each other, so you're basically gonna role play as your character. What would Cable do in the situation? Would he like look around and see that he has a samurai dwelling nearby? Yeah, and then or would you try to go get out of this super thick forest that is just trash with poisonous snakes?
So what is the objective? What are we trying to do? Are we conquering the flag here?
It is deathmatch.
So if Cable is in the forest, the jungle, and he's got to go attack somebody, then he will rise up to that situation. But if he's gonna have you come and attack him, then if he's in the jungle, he's just gonna sit there and wait for you. Get up in a tree. You're not gonna see him. It's gonna turn into like Predator and Alien kind of situation, and you're not gonna see Rambo. He's gonna be sitting right there waiting for you. And that's Cable.
All right, so that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna climb in a tree and wait. Take a look around and see what's going on.
I'm gonna wait. Yep. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna wait.
All right, just remember you got to get out of that forest. It takes 2 turns to get out of there. Every turn you're in there, you're gonna get by a snake outside of your first turn. You just got to be mindful of that. 2 bites and you're dead. All right, so then I will go. Since I'm out by this waterfall lake type thing, Snake's basically gonna take a look around, try to use his binoculars, see that there's just nothing he can see. There's too much forest everywhere. There's trees blocking his view, so he's gonna start walking towards the edge of the forest, towards the ruins. He's gonna start moving northeast from where he's at, and yeah, he's probably gonna have a cigarette or a cigar on the way. All right, Hawk.
Okay, what quadrant am I in again? Sorry.
You're in southeast.
Southeast.
Yeah, you're in the terrible forest jungle area.
So, let's see. I'm gonna move northeast, but I'm gonna do it slow and careful, and I'm gonna work my way towards a tree if I can. So let's say like I move a little bit and climb a tree. But does that count? Is that good?
Yeah, so you guys are both just chilling in a tree right now, different trees. I'm assuming different trees. I hope so.
Yeah, we're in the same tree now. So Jin is gonna basically move a little bit and climb a tree and try to survey his environment, because that's usually one of the first things he does before like a big engagement like this. Try to see what the options are, who's where, what he could do, etc. So that's my first move.
All right. So BC, it's back to you. So you're chilling in a tree. Jin's in a tree somewhere. Who knows if you heard him? Because he is pretty stealthy, but
he is.
Yeah, things happen. But that is one of Jin's traits, though, is he is a samurai assassin, essentially.
Yeah, very quiet.
So he's going to be quiet. You're a pretty quiet guy for the most part. You're huge, but you're quiet. Yeah. So what happens next? And then remember, at the end of this turn, you're going to get attacked by a snake. With a coin flip to see if you get bit or not. Yeah, that section terrible.
Oh boy. Well, I guess I would look around in the tree and see if I see anybody moving. If I did, I'd probably head that way to see if I could get a better view of where Hawk's at. I don't think Cable's really the type to set the whole forest on fire, because he's not really going to be in one area for too long. But I would consider lighting the forest on fire and take care of that snake.
Well, is this a rainforest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you're. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say we're in Brazil.
Yeah. So starting a fire in a forest starting a fire in a rainforest is basically impossible.
Well, they definitely burn down a bunch of trees down there. We do the clear cut, but that's controlled fires. But it's possible. But I don't think Cable's the type that would burn a forest down to begin with. He might burn a building down, but I don't think he's going to burn a forest down to get to another enemy. So if I'm in a tree and you're in a tree, I was in the tree first. I've probably seen you come up in a tree, so I'm probably heading to your tree, whether or not I'm going to get bit by a snake or not. I'm probably looking for that tree you're wiggling in. So I'm moving towards. He said he's in northeast. I'm probably moving to northeast then.
You're gonna start moving northeast. Okay.
Yeah, because that's
So you're
probably
on the
where
lookout for the noise. And you're moving northeast.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to flip a coin now. So let's see what happens.
So what's what?
Heads, you're fine. Tails is you get bit by the snake.
Okay, here we go. Heads.
All right. So you didn't get bit by a snake. Good job. You killed it. All right. So me again. Snake's clearing past these trees right now. He's moving towards the ruins in the northeast. Now he's at the edge of the trees. He's able to see the ruins, seeing what he's going to do. And from there, I look around. I don't see anybody at all. I kind of think I'm just here by myself for some reason. And I look at the 3 empty rooms up there, up the stairs, and I start to plan my strategy. And that's where I stop.
Okay. So Jin is very perceptive. He has an ability. I'm not going to say that it works like this if it were real, but you could like crouch down and see enemies highlighted effectively with sound. So he's really perceptive. We'll just put it that way. So he's going to hear someone's coming towards him. He doesn't quite know exactly from where, doesn't quite know how far, but he can tell someone's coming towards him. So he gets out of the tree, lands on the ground, and starts to move towards the noise that he heard.
Mm-hmm. You guys would pretty much be meeting up then.
Mm-hmm. Let's say we'll wind up real close at the end of this turn. So should I flip a coin for me?
Yeah, flip a coin.
All right. And heads is okay.
Yep.
All right. Tails. Oh.
Yep. So you're not like poisoned, you're not weakened or anything, but you get bit one more time and you're just dead.
Okay.
All right. So BC, this time, he is like basically right in front of you. You guys are going to see each other. So you're seeing this guy. You probably just heard him actually get bit by a snake. Kind of react to that. That's the best way to go over that. So yeah, you hear someone like 3 trees away from you get bit by a snake. Now you know your enemy is by you. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna crouch down, and if I can see him, I'm gonna shoot at him. If I can see him first and he doesn't see me, and especially if he just got bit, I'm shooting at him. So is this the time where we coin flip and see if I hit him?
This is going to be a little bit different because you've got to remember this is a very dense, almost unmovable forest. So you guys, you're close to each other, but you don't exactly see you. This is going to kind of come down to a fight where you're going to have to be literally in the same tree or on the ground. So you're aiming away. You're aiming the way that you see him down there. You can take a random shot if you want. We can flip a coin, see if you get him. Just you hear the noise coming from like that direction, so you shoot exactly that direction because you do have military senses. You have a very good chance of hitting them.
And I got a parent that is who has telekinesis, and I have telepathic powers. I was gonna say telepathetic, but telepathic powers. And so I don't know if I'm shooting necessarily at him, but I'm pretty confident where I'm gonna be shooting. So I'm gonna pull everything up and I'm gonna shoot from within. I'm shooting for the hoop. Yep. I'm shooting for the stars from the belt.
All right, we're going to go ahead and coin. Let's see what happens here.
Will tails be a hit then?
Heads will be a hit.
Heads will be okay. Yeah, because he's all right.
Yeah, heads is going to tails is going to be bad.
Okay, so tails.
All right. So you missed probably just by like a hair. and now your opponent is aware of where you shot from. So that's
He
gonna
hears
be your
a
turn.
a crack and a zip.
Well, it's gonna be. Doesn't he use a laser gun, like a laser rifle of some sort?
Yeah, I would say
Right?
so.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm used to seeing him with. I think that's what he used in that movie he was in too. I think so. The Deadpool one.
Yeah.
But
it's like a
anyways.
crazy
Uh,
shotgun.
So yeah, you guys next turn, Hawk's gonna get a chance to go at you because basically he knows where you're at, you know where he's at. Solid Snake is still by himself, just wondering what's going on here. He knows he was sent here for a mission, and there's no one. So he's just now walking wide in the open, not caring, walking up these stairs.
Does he hear the shot though?
Yeah, he should. He hears a shot, so at least he knows there's some action, but it's like so far out that it's not affecting him.
Yeah, something. He knows something's going on, but he doesn't quite know what or where.
Yeah, doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's just going up these rooms, up those 3 rooms. He's just walking up the stairs.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So, shot whizzes by, gets real close. Jin sees, some leaves that are smoldering or kind of like, a little bit on fire or have a hole through them at least, since the shot came through foliage, let's assume. He pulls out his bow, which in this case, just because it was my personal preference, we'll go with the quote short bow, even though the Japanese short bow is huge. So he pulls out the short bow and runs a little bit more in the direction of the shot and takes a shot of his own. But I imagine there's still too much brush between us that he can't really pin the target. But he has an idea, so he shoots with the bow.
All right, so then we're going to go ahead and flip a coin. You're going to see if you hit.
Heads.
Okay, so you hit. And then I want to just remind everybody I missed the snake last time on BC's turn, so we're just going to skip the snake on this one for you too, just to keep that fair. So unfortunately,
I could do the snake.
Well, I mean, we'd have to go back and do a snake for him too.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we'll just pass it for a turn. So it only attacks every couple turns.
Like
we'll figure something out next time. Yeah. Yeah. So BC, you got hit by an arrow. So now you know exactly where this guy is. The arrow probably might make it through your armor a little bit. It's not going to like kill you, but it definitely pierced your armor, and you got a little bit of the tip of the arrow in you. So it hit you like in your shoulder.
No poison or anything though.
Yeah, just a regular arrow. So now you know exactly where that arrow came from. What is Cable doing?
I think Cable's gonna win, guys. I really think at this point, if you can't hit him in his left shoulder, that's where the technovirus and everything, his organic, robotic skin and stuff's at. That's not going to affect him. So now you've hit him in the right arm, and he's already blasted. He didn't hit you, but he came really close. Now you shot through all the brush an arrow that's not poisonous, and it's now hit him, and now he knows exactly where you're at. How close are you? Can he grab you? Can I grab you? Because
you're up in a tree.
With my arm.
We're
still in the tree. We're not on the ground yet.
He's on the ground. You never jump down. So you're chilling in a tree.
Oh, boy.
You could drop down where he is.
Well, let's take another coin flip. I'll stay in the tree. Shoot him again.
Shoot him. All right.
Shoot him again.
All right.
I got a good chance at least to hit it, making a hit this time.
Heads.
That is a hit. You're basically going to be down to one arm. Like one arm is now useless. Your primary is still good, but your one that you were aiming the bow with, like the forward arm, that one is now just shot. It's very injured.
Okay, it wouldn't kill him.
I mean, we could flip again, see if it kills. Do a one-hit kill.
Yeah, let's do that.
We could do it.
Let's do that. Because he's got me pinned. He's got my
he
number.
knows exactly where you're at. So yeah, do a second one to see if it kills you.
Yeah, he's up in a tree. He's got a laser gun. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. And heads again. So yeah, it kills me. I'm done.
So never mind. It went straight through your heart. Just got done dirty. All right. So while Snake's walking up these stairs, he hears a shout. So he kind of stops walking up the stairs, turns back around, hides against one of the statues that's down there, one of the the Mayan statues that's down there, and has his tranquilizer gun out. He's hiding behind there just for cover while trying to listen to see if anything else happens. But you just heard a man scream, basically his last scream.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's you, BC.
What are you recovering from? You haven't done anything.
I am nowhere near you. It take 2 turns to get out somewhere. I was walking up, so I was halfway there. I'm near the edge. Basically, my next turn would be getting to the forest.
So, but so what are you recovering from? Did you sit down and take a break? I mean,
Yep.
No, he smoked.
That's all I could do was just walk. I was smoking so much. Ran out of
Smoke
air.
a whole pack.
Yeah.
Well, so how long does it take me to get out of the? Because I don't know where you're at this point. You might have an idea.
You're basically at the edge too. Your next turn, you'd be getting to the ruins because you moved forward 1 turn, getting into a tree. You were trying to get closer to him.
All right, so then I guess I don't know. Do you roll flip a coin to see if I have to climb down the tree? Is that 1 turn? And then
you'd basically get out of the tree and walk into the ruins, and you could look for cover. There is cover there. It's not the best, but there's like statues and stuff.
Yeah, like getting out of the tree and then
stairs.
moving, I would say, is 1 turn. So get out of the tree and then move. That's a single turn.
Let's do that. Let's make that my turn. And then I imagine there's going to be a snake this time again, or
you're out of the forest, and we're done with snake for now. We're just going to call that quits. Okay. Got 1 turn, just forget it forever.
Yeah, I get bit by the snake, and then we throw it out.
Yeah. Yep, keep things real. So basically now we'd be near the same spot. I was already hiding behind these statues. When you come out of the forest into the statues, I don't see you, but I hear you. So I have my cigarette, and there's going to be cigarette smoke around. So I flick that out, and I use my best thing, which is a box. I lay my box out. Cardboard box just laying there in the open. And I stay behind the statue, and I wait. Yep, so I'm just waiting for you. Now there's just a box sitting there. What are you going to do?
oh boy, should I go look at the box? Let's roll a coin and see if I can look at the box. No, I don't think he would do that. He's going to be like, what's this box here for, right? So I think I should climb in another tree.
You're going back into the forest? You're going backwards?
No, you can't go back into the forest, right? We can only go straight. So can I climb up on one of the ruined rocks?
Up on a statue.
All right, let's climb up on a statue, and then I'll try to blend in as best as possible.
All right.
I got the camouflage pants.
I was hoping you'd go for my box. You didn't, so I'm going to go ahead. I have my tranquilizer loaded up. It's not going to do anything to you. I'm going to have to shoot you like in the eyeball or something. But
we could roll for
Snake. Snake wouldn't try to. He is an expert marksman, so it's possible.
Yeah.
But Snake hears someone climbing up something. He knows exactly where it's coming from because there's just statues and then the stairs and some buildings. So I have my tranquilizer gun out. I see a guy, this huge, bulky guy with metal arm, like standing up there on top of a statue, trying to blend in, standing perfectly still, which is impressive. And so Snake, not knowing who this is, because he has no intel on this guy, especially a time traveler,
Yeah.
is going to take a shot. I am going to try to aim for somewhere that is not metal. I can't see all of you, but I'm aiming for somewhere that's not metal. So we're going to flip a coin first to see if I hit.
All right, flipping now. Tails.
Oh, I missed. So now you know there's a guy standing behind a statue who just shot at you.
I'm shooting back.
You shoot him back. All right, so we got to flip a coin first to see if you hit me because I'm behind a statue.
No.
Okay, now before we flip the coin, now here's the thing. So Snake is using regular ballistics. We know that for the most part, any kind of gun you're going to shoot at a statue like that is not going to shoot through it or anything. Okay, but this laser gun, can it shoot through rock? Can it shoot through stone? You know, how power is it like a las gun from 40K and it plinks off of everything? Or are we talking like
it'll destroy the
heavy?
statue, but it won't hit me. So if it hits just the statue, it's just destroying the statue. Like, completely.
Okay, all right. So let's do a flip then.
It should do some like
cartoon
some
logic
kind
for
of
that.
facial, some kind of facial scarring of some sort. Though it will definitely do some outside damage. Though if the statue breaks in front of you, like you're gonna get a nasty gash or something.
Oh,
Well, yeah, it would be basically exploding like on my back. So I'm like standing with my back to the statue.
Do the lasers
Popped out
like
to shoot it and pop back in?
do they work kind of like the what is that? That Zack Snyder movie that I'm forgetting about right now. The sci-fi one just recently came out with number 2.
Yeah,
You
Rebel
really
Moon.
like-
I'm trying to think if it hit anything. That just kind of like
They splash.
yeah, it's weird. That's more plasma, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So it destroys the rock, scars you, but it doesn't kill you. So it is heads, by the way. So the shot the shot connected.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna have to roll a second one though, because he is shooting. So he has to roll a second one to see if it kills me. So flip the coin again, because it could. You never know. I don't think it would, but I'm trying to keep like the cartoon logic. So usually it would like shoot it, explode the rock, and the person would be fine. Kind of like in an Uncharted game.
Well, it's heads again.
Oh, yep. So you just shot straight through the rock, straight through a statue, and just murdered some guy who was trying to hide behind a rock in a box.
Blammo.
Yep. Yep. Table is I didn't think about the laser gun.
That's why you don't bring guns or katanas to laser fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that, space, technology, that time traveling stuff, and then that's not even really using his superpowers at all either, because he's got a big gun. So that really is his I don't know.
Yeah, he's the future soldier, isn't he? Something like that. That's what they call him. But he's he's expert. I think he's expert marksman. I don't know if they ever full out say that, but if you ever watch him like in cartoons, he is an expert marksman.
Doesn't he have a robot eye?
I don't think I don't know. It depends too, like on who's drawing him, because there's been times where he has like a technical, like a robotic eye, and then there's times where like it goes to flesh. So I don't know if it's I can't tell you. There's been times where like they have that mark around his eyeball as well. So I don't know if there's like certain points in his history where he loses his eyeball, and then so I can't tell you that for sure. I know his eyes are like brown, like his dad Scott's. They're making that pretty prevalent.
Well, he won.
Yep. But I mean, he is Cable. You guys ever play? You guys probably didn't. There was the Deadpool video game back in like the PS3 days. You guys ever see that?
Nope. I've seen it, I think, but I never played it.
He is quite awesome in it. He shows his disdain for Deadpool, and I love it.
Yeah, did Josh Brolin play him in the one movie?
Sir. Yeah, Deadpool 2.
Yep. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's played. Yeah, so he's played 2 Marvel characters and 1 DC character. Because he played Jonah Hex and Thanos.
Oh, I forgot he's Thanos. I always forget that.
Yeah, he's got a superhero pedigree, just like Chris Evans. Chris Evans, you have Captain America, Human Torch, and then from the movie The Losers, which is a DC comic.
Yep. Well, and he's the guy from Snowpiercer, his best role.
Yeah. Yep. Did you ever see Snowpiercer?
No. I didn't like him as Human Torch. Just didn't like how they wrote his character as Human Torch. Thought he looked good as Human Torch, but
Yeah.
just didn't like that. I don't understand the Fantastic Four. They keep messing up those movies. It's not hard to do the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is something fun. They are now trying to say, well, they've been saying it for a while, but Stockton, where I'm at, they're saying is the birthplace of the Fantastic Four. Their hometown. I still understand that. I thought basically everybody's hometown was like New York City or somewhere around there, right? But no, they're saying that Stockton, California, is where the Fantastic Four is from. It just doesn't make much sense, but. Stan Lee came here to Stockton and made a big deal about it. So we are the honorary home of the Fantastic Four. So I wish they'd make a good movie.
Yeah, well, Disney's working on one. Who knows what they're going to do with it? The cast is seeming pretty interesting, though. They've been getting some big names for like side characters and whatnot. I mean, it's going to be an official Marvel movie, which will be quite awesome.
Well, with Memorial Day around the corner and everything here, what other like IPs, games, movies, comics, or anything? What kind of like soldier related stuff are you guys into? Or what is it? What do you think of when you think of today or Monday, not today?
The best soldier ever, Captain America. That would be number one, and then his crew, which I wish I still had the comic, but there's at one point, I think they're called the White Stars. It's his own like little militia group that idolizes him, like uses his white star as their logo and everything.
Okay. Was it that band of guys he had with him in the movie? Or I mean, I know I'm
no, that was oh man, I'm drawing a blank now. It's a different crew, but no, these are like more modern.
Oh, okay.
This is like after America's been like a known thing, came back after being frozen and all that stuff.
Okay. Do they look cool?
I mean, they're basically blue and white. Like their suit's kind of cool. How he was dressed, I think in Winter Soldier, he had like the blue and white suit. Yeah. That's kind of close to what the White Stars were. That's the closest thing I can think of. Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh boy, yeah, Captain America. He's a fun character. Who would I go for? Who do I think of? I mean, I went into the comic shop yesterday and I was looking at the Punisher books, and I thought it might be interesting to start getting into those. It's hard for me to jump into other books right now because I'm really invested in Batman. So when I buy another comic book that's not Batman, I like kick myself because I could have had a Batman comic book. But yeah, the Punisher, I know a lot of people like the Punisher, and I was just looking at all these books and all these boxes just full of Punisher books. He's kind of like a soldier, but he's not necessarily a soldier. He's kind of like a hitman. Now, in the 90s,
he was a soldier.
He was a soldier. Yeah. He was a soldier, but he's
depending on the iteration.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Netflix show?
Yeah, I really like the Netflix show. I've seen all the Netflix with Daredevil and Punisher. I thought the Punisher one was done really good. Iron Fist, I didn't think that one was done as well. The Luke Cage, there was some high and low moments to it. The Jessica Jones, same thing. It starts out really, I mean, I understand it's a superhero show for adults, so it's not for kids, but started out really raunchy to begin with the Jessica Jones. She's sleeping with somebody. And then, those Netflix shows were done pretty good. Daredevil, he's pretty good too. I liked how they had if you guys didn't know, Daredevil and the Ninja Turtles are now linked up together. Oh. They said the blinding that happened with in the comic books when Daredevil had his accident on the streets, the mutagen that blinded him, the barrels fell off the truck, blinded him. Well, it also was the same mutagen, the ooze that went into the sewer and mutated the Ninja Turtles. So they linked that together.
Nice.
I thought that was cool. It's a cool little retcon. It wasn't original, but they made it later on. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you got, Hawk?
Yeah, around this time of year, it's like I love history. I mean, you know that. Like, I never shut up about history, um, history and politics. But we'll keep those, or we'll keep one of them off of here. Um, but it's usually like for movies and stuff. I go through the World War II circuit effectively, like watching Saving Private Ryan, and then the shows Band of Brothers, The Pacific, which in my opinion Pacific is better than Band of Brothers. You know, hot take. Um, but for games, I've been playing a lot of Company of Heroes. There's no like one specific soldier in there, but just kind of get into a big World War II focus from now until like June 10th. But you know, considering June 6th. Um, but yeah, yeah. So it's for like I don't know. Yeah, it's that's what I do around this time. I like to focus on World War II, World War One, mostly those two. Sometimes other historical pieces, but I like to try and think about the effects of different wars that we've had. Think about the people that I know that have been in some. Think about what they've done. What it was for, whether we benefited from it or not. I don't know. It's kind of contemplative. It's a time to think for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But BC brought up something that made me want to ask you guys a question. So we're going to go back to Punisher. So he has a few movies. And I've read online that, some of them are hated. And I just wanted to see what you guys think. Talking about I know the first one, I had Thomas Jane. The second one, I watched just a little bit of. I think it was like what was the name of the second Punisher movie?
Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone. There we go. I was going to call it Battle Royale. Yeah, so
no.
What do you guys think about those movies?
I love them both. I think most people seem to prefer the Thomas Jane one, and Thomas Jane is awesome in everything he's in my opinion. Last thing I saw him in was The Expanse show. Love that show. But yeah, I think a lot of people. I mean, I don't know. When I was younger, I heard that a lot of people didn't like the second one. With the guy, he was just in The Mandalorian. I forget his name. He passed away recently, unfortunately. The guy who played the Punisher in the second movie, awesome actor, but I think they're both awesome for different reasons. I think the Thomas Jane one is like a comic book come to life, effectively, like the way it's shot and the lighting and everything. It's very comic-y. And then the second one is a little more like early mid 2000s dark, grimy shoot 'em up kind of movie. But they're both done really well. I don't know. I know for some reason a lot of people don't like one or both of them, but I can't see why.
All right. What about you, BC? Have you seen those?
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry, I was trying to look. I believe I've seen the ones that you guys are talking about. It looks like there's been 3 of them. There was one in 1989, one in 2004, and one in 2008. And everyone that I've seen, I've liked. I can't remember one that I haven't liked, but you kind of have to take it for what that movie is. And when you watch a comic book movie, it's not ever going to be true to the comic books. So for fans of, it was really interesting. My wife the other day said, "Why can't they make so-and-so movie?" And I'm like looking at her and said, "Well, they were going to, but they didn't want to make that movie." And she's like, brings it up again the next day. "Why can't they make such and such movie?" And she's a fan of a certain character and she wants to see a certain movie come out. Even if it's a bad movie, she wants to see her character get highlighted, right? How many Batman movies do we have out there? How many Superman movies do we have out there? How many, right? You could see how many, same thing with like the MCU, it's like, it's neat that they're trying to get all these other extra characters in there and stuff. But honestly, we all know what sells. Spider-Man and Batman sell, right? So that's why there are so many of those movies for that specific character. But for a fan like her who wants to see, we'll just say a Batgirl movie. Well, there was going to be a Batgirl movie sorry about the children. there was going to be a Batgirl movie, but things happened, and you can say politics got involved, and there was some other stuff, and they canned the movie. The movie's basically filmed. They're not going to put it out there. They're not going to put it out there. It's kind of like you guys. We don't have to really put out really a name title, but I'm just going to say it, the Catwoman movie. With we'll say with Halle Berry. What the heck is that? That is not Catwoman, right? But that is Catwoman in title, right? That's the character's name, but that's not Catwoman from the movies. That's not Catwoman from Batman. That's not Catwoman. That's Halle Berry having a freaky movie, right? We'll just say it like that. Like, it's totally different. So for people to get behind, like, and they're just like, I want to just see my character out there so bad. Well, that's what happens is they take and they put that character out there, and they're not necessarily true to the origins of the character from the roots, right? The comic books, the meat and the potatoes, right? So it's upsetting because, but then you look at it and you're like, okay, so what exactly is it? Well, it's a Punisher movie. And if it's, Matt Castle, I believe is the Punisher's name. And,
Frank.
if it's, what's that?
Yeah, Frank
Castle.
Frank Castle. Okay. I don't know where I got Matt Castle from. Maybe the quarterback, Matt Castle from the Patriots or something, or the Chiefs. But if Frank Castle is driving around in his little minivan, and he's got his buddy, making all the high tech, gadgets and stuff, then yeah, I'm down. It's basically but to me, what Punisher is a guy like Batman who's willing to kill. And I think a lot of people see that, and they see like all of his high tech gadgets, and then they see the big gun. And they're like, they're both wearing black costumes. I'm in, So for me, I like Punisher, but again, I'm a little bit more of a Batman guy. I don't like my hero always killing, but for him, you understand why, you understand the storyline, you get it, and yeah. But again, you get a character out there, and do you really want to see a character in a bad movie? Just because you want to see the character? No, because that can ruin a character. That can truly ruin a character for years. It'll take years and years for that character to recover. And if you don't believe me, we'll go back to Toby Keith's Spider-Man. I thought at the times they were great, but then you go back and you watch some of those Spider-Man movies, and you see Peter Parker walking down the street dancing and stuff, and you're like, what the heck is that going on? So, yeah, or you go back and you look at the Batman movies in the 90s, and you see Jim Carrey running around in his green onesie. That can really kill a character, a franchise, and it will take years for it to repair itself. So,
yeah. So you saw the one with Dolph Lundgren for the Punisher, the original?
I believe I did. I believe I've seen all of them. I believe I've seen them all.
That one is
I don't believe
so
I
weird.
remember.
It's just
It's terrible.
it's just bad acting. It's too early to do something so violent, essentially, because they had to make it. It seems like it's made for TV, and that's what killed it. It's not Punisher enough, but it's still. I mean, yeah, he's doing the Punisher's job. He's basically going around on his rampage, killing the people on his list.
Yep,
that's basically
the first movie, the '89 movie.
Yeah.
Because that would seem like it would be right in line with the Terminator. And it seems like they would have dialed him down a little bit because they want the Terminator to get the credit and stuff. So instead of having him come out and be the Terminator, you want the Terminator to make money. So it seems like they might have dumped him down for that. That's my opinion. But
yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, I think
yeah. So we have something we got to talk about. Apparently, someone is dissing Tobey Maguire just because of the third movie.
Definitely not saying he's the worst Spider-Man, but he's definitely not. I don't know. I'm not a Tom Holland fan either, or Adam Garfunkel, or what is his? I'm just saying the dancing in Spider-Man. I want to say Spider-Man 3. Woo! Not his best stuff, but yeah. I remember seeing Spider-Man 1 in the movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
one was the movie. I seen that. It's a Stockton Royal.
Nice.
I think the big problem with comic book movie adaptations is the same problem that you get with with really anything that's an adaptation of anything. I've said this to Sir Felix before, that, and I include myself in this at times, that the worst thing that could happen to any IP is its fan base. Um, and I think that like expectations can run really wild, and also translating media from one aspect to another can really, it can be impossible at times. Like to make a movie out of a comic book, I think to have a direct one-to-one translation to a movie from a comic book is basically impossible. Um, but also sometimes it's just bad writing, or it's really bad acting, or it's bad individual moments. Like it's not like it's all one thing. I think there's a lot of cases of stuff that's just plain bad, no matter how you look at it, no matter what expectations you have, no matter how big of a fan you are of the comics or anything. But sometimes I think people tend to, blow up opinions a lot, inflate opinions on some things, and say that a movie that was a fair adaptation and a competent movie was just totally garbage. Because we tend to fall into sensationalism, I think, with media in particular.
Well, if you guys want to have a book, I recommend everyone read. And if you don't mind, definitely take a look. This book is, you'll probably know it because of the movie. So the book Forrest Gump, Tom, our favorite actor, right? Tom Hanks. The movie is great. Everybody will say how great the movie is. Well, if you want to read something really fun, read Forrest Gump, the book. Oh my God, if you read it, come and tell me, because after you read it, I think it will change your life. I really, truly think it's that cool of a book. It's the movie did not do the book justice at all. Wow. So yeah, if I'm not going to tell you every book that oh wow, they made it into a movie is that great, but Forrest Gump is definitely one of those underrated books that people will probably raise their eyebrows and be like, I ain't reading the book, I've seen the movie. So that's oh boy, I tell you what, I'm very proud that I read that. One of those wow.
So since we're on the topic of movies, we did watch a movie this week that we wanted to talk about.
Yep.
Figured we can kind of close out with this one. We decided to go see a new movie this time instead of just looking for some trash online, which is the most fun thing to do. But so Furiosa came out, and so we went to go see that the other day. And basically, are you interested in Mad Max? Like the Mad Max universe?
Mel Gibson, I've seen him once or twice. I seen him driving in the desert. I seen the video game once or something like that. I used to see a lot of advertisements of Mad Max on, I think it was Sega Genesis, the video game, and it would be in the back of comic books. They'd have his helmet and stuff, and I was just like, that's cool. But yeah, I don't do a bunch of video games. You kind of know.
Oh, did you watch Furiosa from, or not Furiosa, Fury Road from a few years back?
Road, yeah.
No, I have not seen that yet. I'm sorry.
Or you should definitely check that out. It takes it's probably one of the best Mad Max movies. It's got the most action. It's got a good cast, even though two actors didn't like each other. It was a fantastic movie. But so Furiosa is taking the main character of that one and going back to when she was younger, how she got to where she is in Fury Road. So yeah. Let's ask Hawk. What did he think about it? Like, review this movie.
Okay. So this kind of plays, or it kind of, it plays well with the tempering expectations, the kind of side of things. But I had expectations going into the movie that it would be more like Fury Road than it was in actuality. It's a very good movie. I really like it a lot. I would say, a lot of people online are saying it's like a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. I think that's a little sensationalist. Overall, it was really good. I'd say like a 7 out of 10. There were times where it got really slow and it dragged. It's like a 2.5 hour movie. So that's a very long time to be uncomfortable in a seat that has no leg room. So I want to watch it again at home, and be a little more comfortable with it. But it's overall very good. Lots of good action. It's the same kind of action you'd expect from a Mad Max movie at this point, shot in the same way. Lots of awesome cinematography and iconography, and there's a bunch of scenes in there where I feel like if you took a still image of the scene, it could invoke feelings like a piece of art could. It's very visual in its storytelling, which is also what you should expect from a Mad Max movie. But I really liked it. I had a good time.
How do you think the acting was?
I think it's great. I think Chris Hemsworth as Dementis was incredible. I'm just used to seeing him as Thor. But Dementis was awesome. I think what's her face as Furiosa. I always forget her name.
Taylor-Joy.
She was really
Anya.
yeah. Anna Taylor-Joy. Also
Anya.
incredible as Furiosa. I think that she looks nothing like Charlize Theron, but you could believe her as Furiosa. She's got the anger behind her eyes. She's got that fury in her that she really encapsulates very well. The guy that they had playing Immortan Joe, awesome, because the original actor is dead, unfortunately, but the guy that they had to replace him was incredible. And then, yeah, it's everybody in it, minor characters, major characters, everybody was fantastic.
Yeah, action was good. I think the only thing that like brought it down the level is its pace, and then like some of the drawn out parts just really hinder the greatness of the movie. Because yeah, I mean, if you take out those parts, and it's one of those movies that does like chapters, so you see like chapter 1 and the description of what the chapter is. I'm not a fan of that movie, so to me personally, that just kind of hammered it straight down. But yeah, I mean, like a 7, 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 isn't bad. Acting was phenomenal. Just just the slow parts really brought it down.
That there was more CGI in it than Fury Road too. It was still a majority of practical effects, but they touched up some of the stuff with CGI. And when it happens, it's not offensive like it tends to be in some other movies. It was pretty good CGI, but there were a couple. I think there was one scene that stood out in particular, and Sir Felix, you might have felt the same way, where they keep zooming in on someone and backing out, and zooming in on someone and backing out in a vehicle running into something. And that was pretty jarring. That was CGI, but everything else was pretty great.
Yeah, the front seat was just terrible. That looked so fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so I mean, overall I'd say it's definitely a movie to watch.
Absolutely.
But you have to watch Fury Road first. Yeah,
well, or I mean, actually, you could watch Furiosa first, because it is a prequel. It leads right up to Fury Road.
Yeah, I guess that works. Still weird,
but costume design was on point too. Like always, the vehicles were so cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So unless you two have something else to talk about, I was thinking we could go ahead and just close it up there. You guys good?
Yeah, I think I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, well, awesome show. Memorial Day weekend is coming, so it's definitely fun to get involved with, like, especially what Hawk was talking about. Get you a good movie to watch, something that's going to give you a good spirits. For me, comics isn't necessarily what I think about when it comes to Memorial Day. I think more about my family that is and has been in the military. And the first one that I really kind of always think about is my Aunt Sue. She was she retired from the United States Coast Guard. She was a big active member on the UCG, the United States Coast Guard Morgenthau, and it's a really cool ship. Got to go on it and sail underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, because with being a military family, sometimes you get those benefits, and sometimes you get to bring your family on. So she got to bring, and I'm her nephew, so she got to bring my family on, and it was a lot of fun. So I've actually been over the Golden Gate Bridge, and I've sailed underneath it. So I think that's really kind of cool. And So when you do talk about Memorial Day and stuff, I always think about the, Memorial Day and, Veterans Day. I always think about our troops, and I always think about the people that's been active. So, yeah. And other than that, if you guys haven't seen X-Men, go check out the new X-Men movie, TV show, X-Men 97. If, you notice, if you type in YouTube and you type in X-Men, there's just so much stuff right now on YouTube right now that will pop up because it's the new hottest thing. And if it's not X-Men and Deadpool, it's the cartoon that everybody's talking about right now. So if you haven't seen it from the 90s, they've came back out with it. The 97 TV show is one season. And we've went through all 10 episodes and we've rewatched them several times. And I'm just ready for season 2 to come out. And it's going to be interesting because it's one of those things they let go the director. So now the director is gone. He's completed a lot of season 2 and they're already in talks of season 3 and 4. And it's awesome. So we were talking about, sorry to keep the show going a little longer, but we were talking about Spider-Man earlier. So if you guys know that the Spider-Man TV cartoon show in the 90s also was a pretty big deal. And if you are familiar, the theme song was done by Aerosmith, and they are in talks of trying to bring it back. So, look out, keep your ears out for Spider-Man 98. That would be what they would be calling the TV show. And then they're going to go find Mary Jane and there. So, and I don't want to ruin it for you. So go watch X-Men, and you'll see all of the Easter eggs, all the characters from different because the MCU started on Fox. They had all these cartoons, all these characters show up in this season. So it's really neat. So, yeah, guys, thank you again. A great show. And if you do have any family that you can celebrate the holidays with, or if you don't have anybody and you want to celebrate by yourself, barbecue is a great way to do it this time of the year. So thank you, Sarah Felix and Hawk. Always good talking with you guys, and everyone who is here in the chat as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So one last thing I want to say is we have a couple of videos coming out this week. Monday, we're going to have a video going over some post-apocalyptic worlds. We talked about that last week on the show, but it's just a topic I love, so I decided to go ahead and do a video on that as well. And then also we have a better quality, better production video coming out about something related to Fallout, which is also post-apocalyptic. But yeah, it's gonna be some good videos. So you guys check those out. This comes out on the Blender is on Monday, and then Nerd Talk Thursday is on Thursday. So, yeah.
Yep.
Besides that, hope everybody has like a very somber Memorial Day. You guys take care.
Yeah.